Recording.
Yes.
We're recording.
So, how have you been since last time? We were meeting a little bit sooner than a full month in between, which I really like.
Yeah.
And I probably want to do more of that.
Oh, hold on.
Oh,
Let's turn this on
important.
silent mode. Screw you.
Yeah. Just kidding.
This is me and you.
You're
right
like,
now.
just kidding. Hold on.
Just kidding. Hold on. Was that
my client.
a client?
They want to look at something right now.
Oh.
I gotta go.
Yeah.
So, cheers. We got ice this time.
Yeah.
I was talking with one of my friends, and I was like, yeah, last time we drank it neat. And she was like, whoa. I'm like, no, Deleigh's a badass. I need ice and sprinkles and maybe some honey. I don't know.
Yeah. I like it both.
That's intense.
Yeah.
I was joking that, like, when I would take a sip, I couldn't then talk for a few minutes because it was just like, okay, yes, I agree with what you said. Yeah.
That is so funny.
No.
I love it.
Intense, but I like it. I
Yeah.
like it on
I like whiskey.
Mm-hmm. 10 years from now, you're going to have that whiskey voice where I'm like,
ooh,
hey,
girl.
and you're like, hey. I'm like, great.
We'll see. We'll see
if
how
they
that
can
goes. Yeah.
edit that in our podcast.
Sometimes
right? Like,
those voices can be kind of sexy, though.
no, right?
Sometimes.
Yes.
Not all the time.
Yeah.
For me, it probably wouldn't be.
I know this is really
Hey,
funny.
baby.
Hopefully no one who shouldn't see it sees it. But my husband's exes have the two spectrums, like a very high-pitched voice, and then the other one is very low.
Interesting.
Very low. And so it's really funny because I'm like, how'd you pick me when you had like just so opposite spectrums of people? And then I am also completely, one was blonde, one was brunette. I'm a ginger. Like, what is...
Yeah.
Do you have a type? He has no type.
I have absolutely no type.
I don't either.
I mean, I kind of do, but not look-wise. More a type, like, personality-wise.
Yes.
But, like, you can have black hair, brown hair, blonde hair. You can
All the
be
things.
black, white, brown.
Same.
But you just got to be able to, like, start a fire and, like, go on
Not
an
a
adventure. Yeah. You just can't be a pussy. Pretty much
Yes.
that's the main part.
It definitely takes a specific type of person to tolerate my alpha, I guess.
Yes.
Right? Like my,
yeah.
But also very sweet, but also very like, what? No, it's dumb. You know? So if you can tolerate just a little of that, but in a good way, like I mean it in a positive way for growth for both of us.
Yeah. 100%.
Help me help you.
Yeah.
Then we could be happy forever. Me and Joe will be happy forever. Anyway, that's my hubby.
Yeah, y'all are awesome.
Yeah.
I'm still on the hunt.
Nice. It's wild out there.
Yeah, it is. And I don't do the apps.
I have friends that do the apps, and I can't imagine. I've unfortunately or fortunately been like just like a pathological date or whatever it's called, where you just from 12 years old till now booed up with someone, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so I never really had to do the apps because it was just unhealthy way of moving on, where I would just be like, before the one was gone, I had the next. Not good, but so I never really had the app situation.
Oh yeah, okay.
But I couldn't imagine it.
No.
It's scary.
I know. I just can't do the small talk.
Right?
Where you like meet up and then you tell like an abbreviated life story and why you are here and what you do, and I'm just like, I can't, dude.
Yes.
I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Like if we meet in line at the grocery store and you like start, you know,
and I see
you have a
meat.
better chance
and
of doing
you
that.
eat meat. You have like a bottle of whiskey in your cart.
Yeah,
Maybe
exactly.
we'll chat.
Yeah. Are we going on an adventure? Yes, no, no. Okay, bye.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of hard to date maybe a realtor too.
No,
for some people
percent
can't handle it because
we're gonna always.
Well, and we talk to so many people.
Yeah, if they're insecure at all, it is
not gonna
very
happen.
hard.
Mm-mm.
Because you are constantly at 10 o'clock at night texting random people, and it's like, who are you texting? I'm texting Todd. He wants to meet me at a house tomorrow, and my husband's like, who's Todd? And I'm like, no, look at Todd. I'm like, you're good. But no, it's
a thing.
I wouldn't want to be with a realtor. Just because I know.
Wait, as a realtor, you wouldn't want to be with a realtor? No,
not really.
I wouldn't mind, because we understand each other's pain.
Yeah, it would just be like just bitching all day though when you get home. At least only one of us does that. He has like funny, happy, relaxing stories, and I'm like, oh, let me tell you what happened today. He's like, here's a drink, and I'm like, thanks.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I love it. I love my job.
What's the craziest thing you've had happen to you lately?
Oh, God. The most horrible thing happened. My clients had a older home, working septic tank, lateral lines needed to be repaired. We agreed to do that. We get the buyers come back and they decide, and the property's so well priced, like it's nuts. And they are like, we want a new septic. And I'm like, you want a $60,000 septic? Learned a lot about septics, realized in certain parts of the world,
yeah,
very expensive.
Yeah.
All around Georgetown. Like, don't get involved in that. Or start that business because you're making a killing. It's wild how much that costs.
You want to start a septic business?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Because I know who we need to focus on. I have a whole neighborhood that we need to focus on because they all could potentially need that soon. But then I'm like, these were old single people who lived here. It wasn't like my crew of 9 that are like using the septic like it's no tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like a large family didn't live there. So the life of that's going to last a lot longer. Something else that people should think about when they're, was there a family of 10 living here or one old gentleman?
Right.
Who was never even was here. I don't know. Right. Like never used the restroom, And that's how there's a lot that goes into that also that determines like the size that's required. It's based off like the bedrooms, not the square footage of the home.
Right.
Which is something I learned. Always learning something new. I know all about the shitters.
Yeah. I've had septics. It's a thing.
No, yeah.
Gotta use certain laundry detergent, certain dishwashing detergent.
I have a septic tank. I've never thought about it 1 second until after this. And then I told my husband, I'm like, it's a 1985 home. And I said, what's going on with the septic? He's like, I don't fucking know. Ain't nothing, I guess. And I'm like, oh God, no telling.
Yeah, you need to go
if
check that shit out.
We might need to move ASAP. No, I'd have to put it in the seller disclosure now.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have said it on the podcast. No, I was kidding. Just kidding.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
People need to learn these things.
Right?
No one talks about septics.
No. People don't think about it at all.
Because they're kind of shitty,
Yeah. Yeah. I love the dad jokes. If we can get one dad joke per podcast, at least, it could be a thing.
Yeah.
It could be like spot the dad joke.
I'm really good at those.
I like it.
I'm very cheesy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Very cheesy humor.
Yeah. So what is yours? So have you had any weird, crazy stuff happen?
Well, it wasn't anything crazy that happened like that was like in the deal, like wrong with the house. The house was immaculate and perfect and $25,000 under asking and a $50,000 equity already in the house.
Nice.
And the buyer was just absolutely insane. That was the craziest one. I think I told you about it, but
oh yes, that one he was out like a day before or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like
we got
the day of or something. It was
2 days before closing. Just I can't do it, and I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean you can't do it?
Yeah.
said he had some family stuff going on, which I understand. But I have to preface this with he fired me once, then I fired him. Then we all got back together again.
So
and
you
I was
have
like,
been dating.
are we going to close this deal? I was like, because he had some things going on.
Yeah.
In the background. A lot of stuff going on. It didn't really have anything to do with me or him. It was like his situation, and he was like backing out, and then he was upset that I wasn't there at the inspection, which we don't have to be.
No, we don't normally do that. We're just in the way.
Yeah, well, it's 3 hours of just standing there, like,
watching someone do their job.
So
I'm not a micromanager myself.
Yeah, so I said I might be there.
Yeah.
I didn't say I was gonna be there.
Mm-hmm. Was he there?
No.
Okay.
So, whether we chalk it up to my fault or his fault or whatever fault, but that was the problem.
Yeah.
But the house was immaculate. I knew it was good because I already saw another inspection report on it.
I would buy this house.
100%.
Yeah.
Anyways, the poor sellers, they were fucking pissed.
Yeah.
Pissed.
Were they under contract on another house?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
were they out of option period or out of their contingency period?
Right. So yeah, it screwed everything up.
Yeah.
And they were on vacation when I had to tell them.
The poor people.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It wasn't fun. Yeah. I do not like delivering bad news, which I don't have to do often.
Yeah.
I really haven't had to deliver too much terrible news, to the other party, but the other agent was so amazing.
That's really good.
He was incredible.
That's awesome. Whenever you have, because we're all on the same team, we're all trying to help both party buy and sell and get it to the end. And when you come across another agent that understands that and is sympathetic to the crazy that you might be dealing with, that's really good. Because I've had realtors get mad at me because a client is crazy. And I'm like, no, I get you. Mm-hmm. But like, I have to do what they tell me to do. I can't be like, no, right. You're buying it no matter what. If they want to pull out, they have to pull out. If they want to, they can.
That's what she said.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Sometimes you got to pull out,
I'm not a fan of that myself, but I get it.
Yes.
Ah, love that. Yeah. So the other day I was talking with my husband and I'm like, what is your favorite style of home? Right? Mm-hmm. Because whenever I'm like scrolling through TikToks like a crazy person, which you don't do TikTok, right? It's a shame.
I've got one. I just don't.
You don't do it? Okay, well now I'm sending you them and you will. It's going to happen. They're so good. I had someone tell me today I should do TikToks and I'm like, yeah, maybe I should.
Yeah, I even made a cool name for it.
Oh, now you have to share your name.
The Dealter.
No. No wonder you're not on there. Just kidding. That's pretty good.
Oh my God. So funny.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I love a Victorian home.
Oh.
Like I want to build a Victorian style, right? Yeah. Like a modern home that's new and not gonna like termite fall apart with the termites or because it's an old home, right? Like and you're gonna have to redo it anyway. I just want to build one from the ground up, but completely Victorian style.
Did you see that one that's over off Lamar? It's brand new. It was called
Someone did what I'm describing.
Yes.
Of course. I'm always like 5 seconds too late.
It's amazing. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, I love it.
So it's all black on the outside.
No, I love that even more.
Yeah, and it's got the pitch, like the Victorian and everything, but it's modern. And the inside is gorgeous.
Oh,
like the kitchen is
that
one of my favorite
when you did the tours, the house tours?
No, that was different. It might have been on one. a couple of years ago.
The weird Austin tours. Have you ever done those?
Ooh, no.
I want to do that. It's like all the ones that get published in that book, and they do it like once a year, and they tour all the weird Austin homes.
Oh, cool.
Wouldn't that be so fun?
Yeah, that would be so fun
this year.
Yeah, we should.
I'll figure out when it is.
Yeah, it's over off of, I think it's Kinney Street. It's over off Lamar. And it's so beautiful. It's really cool. It's unique. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that idea. What about you? What's
I've got
favorite?
the builder.
Oh.
When you're ready. Yeah. Atlas Custom Homes.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. We have great architects. We work with a couple of different architects. Whoever you mesh with, you can work with.
Nice.
But everything is in-house. And yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah, and they build awesome homes.
It's hard to find like a true bring me your idea and I'll make it happen builder. Right now we're working with a client who wants to do steampunk industrial. Yeah.
That's
fun.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. When
you're
shopping for because you help pick all the interior and all the design stuff. I have to go with you on some of those because it'd be so fun to look at those things. Yeah. So much fun. I love it. Yeah. So, you should build, right? You should build a Victorian. Wouldn't it be modern? So pretty? Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it would. It would be awesome. I think I've been thinking about that lately. I really love, where my grandmother lived was near Shiner, Texas, and that whole like Czech and like they have it's kind of like our houses here in Austin. We're the old school, the 50s. They have the big chunky pillars in the front with the big front porches. Yeah, that's my favorite. Oh, I like that. And I would like to do like a modern rendition of like the small charming, with a giant front porch. Yes. They have a swing on. I love it. With the big pillars, the two big pillars, and just cute and. Do you like to people watch? Quaint. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That would be so good. For sure. Best people watching ever in Austin. I sit on my front porch 10 times more than I sit on my back porch. Yeah, I don't sit on the back porch because that's where my dogs run wild. And so for whatever, if I bring my dogs in the house, they're calm and great. If I go to their backyard, they want to jump on me, like just constantly. I mean, they're large dogs. They're German Shorthairs, so that I'm like, stop. Take them in the house. They don't do it at all. They just sit and be good. Go to their backyard. They think I'm just like a bouncy house that they want to bounce on. Interesting. No, they're weird. It's okay. I feel bad. My dog is such a spoiled little dog. He's cute as shit, but I love your dog. Yeah. He so the backyard is dry, because it's just hasn't rained in a while. Yeah. And it's all crunchy, and he walks like he's got like the socks on, like he's just like, ugh, oh god, I can't believe I have to touch this. That is pretty good. It's pretty funny. I'm just like, oh my god, you are so spoiled. That is spoiled. I love that. My dog's at puppy daycare because I was gonna be gone all day, and I don't trust my husband to take care of her. So I was like, you're gonna stay at puppy daycare today, and I'll pick you up tomorrow. And so, cute. That's what I do whenever I have to work all day. Really? Yeah, because I don't. She's too spoiled. She's too spoiled. It's okay. Yeah. It's cool. It's all right. It happens. Yeah. They spoil us too. Yeah. She's like, she just sits here all the time with me. So let's talk about all the great things that have been going on with TREPAC, and now that all the voting and elections and all the stuff is done, we have some good stats on that and how we did as realtors and the people we supported and who made it out of that. Do we want to go over info? Yeah, so TREPAC is a Texas Real Estate Political Action Committee. Yes. And our PAC, which is Realtor Party, is the largest PAC in the U.S. Yes. Isn't that crazy? That's pretty awesome. It's pretty crazy. Yeah. So we raise and disperse funds to candidates who support realtor-related issues.
And we support both sides of the aisle.
100%.
Yeah.
And it's realtors, it's the political parties that also support like tax stuff and housing. And so it's not just stuff about realtors, it's really about how we do our business, like
real estate related, housing related.
Housing issues. Yeah. And so, yeah, we did really good this year. We had 197 of the state and federal candidates who earned our support won. And that is a lot. That is a big, big number.
That is huge.
At the RPAC level, which is federal races, we had 39 candidates and 26 Republicans and 13 Democrats. And these get really vetted. We talk about that periodically on here, but we ask, and they get asked several questions in regards to how they're going to vote, if they, what do they think about this housing issue, and
we have a level of questions.
Yes.
They come in and we interview them. We have a panel of like 8 people.
Yeah.
Asking them questions. They have to know their shit.
Yeah.
And some of them come in and they don't really know their shit, or
start talking about other topics.
Or they or they have the same answer for multiple questions.
Yes, that happened.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But it was, you could tell who the people were that did their homework.
Yeah.
That know a lot about what we do.
Some of them knew more than I knew. I was like, oh, that's smart. Where did he learn that? And I was like, oh, he made the rule. Or something, right? Like, it was just like, of course he knows.
Yeah.
Right? But some of them you could tell did not know at all.
Right. Yeah.
And I was a little shocked that they were even coming to talk to us. I mean, I guess they want to try, right?
Right, because they want our funds for their campaign.
Yeah.
Right.
But it was, I'm like, I don't know. I feel like if I was helping someone, I would have been like, these are the questions. Because they knew our questions, right? They did know what our questions were going to be.
Right.
So they could decide how they were going to answer them.
Yeah.
Who was your favorite interview? Can we talk about who our favorite interview was?
I think so.
Right. I don't know. Are we allowed to do that?
He was he District 10 or District 7? Adams?
I can't.
The guy who was like so vibrant.
Yes.
He was on his game.
Yeah.
He was on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was blown away. It was funny because afterwards, after we interview them and then they leave, we all talk about and discuss what we think about them, what we thought about their answers.
We even wrote what each person, we had a little card, like what we thought about how they answered that, how they answered that.
Right.
It's.
Yeah. And he was on it.
Yeah.
I mean, he knew every answer plus some, didn't repeat himself, didn't use the same answer on different questions.
Yeah.
He crushed it. And I don't think that he made it into, he didn't make it into the running. Mm-hmm. So we didn't get a chance to support him, but everyone loved him. It was between him and I think it was Mike Siegel.
Probably. I think so.
I think.
Yeah. Yeah, there were a couple where I was like, man, if people could hear this one-on-one in the room. I mean, I know they talk all over town and you hear all kinds of stuff, but just that one-on-one interaction and what they thought and how they presented themselves compared to the people, I was like, man, they should have gotten it.
Yeah, I know. Me too. He was my favorite. And then also the mayor was great. Yeah. So we got to interview all the mayoral candidates this year. And so Mayor Watson just crushed it. Oh my God, he crushed it.
He was
by far
funny, easy to talk.
He's down to earth.
He really was.
It
was good.
He's down to earth.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about.
And he came in, that's what he was talking about, how he came in halfway in between, not a full term. Right? Isn't that what he was saying?
Yeah.
And that it's hard to do as much as he wanted to do in just a partial term.
Right.
And so having a whole term will be very helpful.
Yeah.
Isn't that what he said? That's what he was saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was awesome. I'm so glad he won. So we, as Austin Board of Realtors, so after we interview the committee, TREPAC committee and the LMT Legislative Management Committee, we have to go to the Board of Realtors, and we say, hey, this is who we would like to endorse, and then they have to get approval from the Austin Board of Realtors. And once they get approval, then we'll be able to send them funds for their campaign.
Yeah.
So
like
we were
mailers and stuff like that.
Yeah, mailers, advertising. And so I felt really great knowing that we got to vet him, we got to interview him, got to hear what he had to say, how he was going to help our housing market here in Austin. You know,
and he has actual thoughts on it. There was one of them that really kind of didn't, and I'm like, that's one of the biggest issues right now. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a realtor. I'm saying that because my children live in Austin, and it's an issue, right? And it's a real issue. Mm-hmm. And so, I'm excited about this year. It's gonna be
me too.
It's gonna be something. It's gonna be either good or not. So,
well, it's got to be better than the last 2 years. I'll tell you that.
So now for the state races, I'll go over those. We had 4 statewide candidates, 4 Republicans, 15 Texas Senate candidates, and that was 14-1. So 8 Democrats, 7 Republicans, and 1 TREPAC supported Democrat lost. So that's that's like all of them are wins. That was like one of our only loss at the Senate level.
Which is so amazing.
Yeah.
So, our support is important.
It is.
It really is.
Well, and and if you think about it, like, there's a lot of realtors. I was in a code of ethics class because you have to take that every 3 years, and I think everyone's 3rd year is up, so everyone's getting that email. I was like, oh God, I need to take that by the end of the year. And they said there were 93,000 realtors that needed to take their code of ethics before the end of the year. And I'm like, that's not even all the realtors. 93,000 realtors.
Wow.
That's wild.
I wonder if I'm on that list.
You should have gotten an email. You better check.
I feel like I just took it, but
yeah,
I need to check.
I would definitely, because they said that they changed their whole system, and it's taking more days to get in there. And if we don't have it done in the system by December 30th or 30 whatever, then you won't have access to the MLS.
Ooh.
Yeah, yikesy.
Better get
on that. Yeah, I'm like messaging everyone. Yikes. I'm like, do your code of ethics.
Yeah, I'll check on that. I'm pretty sure that I just took it like a year ago.
It's not through the regular thing. Like, you're not going to see it with your TREPAC. I mean, not TREPAC. With your like with TREC. It's not with your license. It shows it somewhere
separate.
else.
Yeah, because it's NAR.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I'll double check.
I got like 5 emails.
Yeah.
And they're like, hello. I'm like, yeah, gonna do it. Most ethical person I know.
Duh.
Yeah, but that's always a fun class. It's important. It's wild what's out there. Some of the realtors.
Oh, I know. So I just met with a client before this. New client.
Fun.
I'm so excited because it's her first home.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Yeah, and I went to college with the guy.
Oh, fun.
And so he moved away forever. And he just came back and he was like, I'm ready to buy a house, and of course I'm gonna use you because I've known you forever, and how cool is that? And so that was fun. I love that. But he was telling me that when he first started kind of looking around, he was calling realtors about a listing or whatever, and he was like, some of these people are fucking idiots.
No.
And I was like, I mean, I didn't say it, but
yeah.
I'm like, I
love
know
all my peers.
Yeah. I was like, well, what happened? He's just like, well, I called this guy about one of his listings, and he goes, do you mean the land or the one with the house? And he goes, well, I meant the land, but what about the house? And he goes, well, the house isn't for sale, so I can't tell you anything about it. And he was like, well, why did you ask me? Like, I was calling about the land, the number on the
land sign.
I was like, okay, from here on out, just call me.
Yeah.
I'll get all the scoop for you.
Yeah.
I was like, just some
I have
people.
so many friends who don't want to bother me, right? Like they're interested, they're just thinking about it, they're not sure, but they don't want to bother me if it doesn't turn into something. Like,
right.
And I'm like,
no, that's what
I'm here for that. Like,
yeah.
I want
all the questions.
Don't call someone who may or may not know what they're doing.
Right.
Call me, and I don't mind. It'll take me 5 minutes to answer your question.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I've never been like, what are you bothering me for? Are you gonna buy it tomorrow? Then go away. Like,
yeah, I know.
I help clients for years. I have some clients that I've worked with for like a year and a half, just because everything in people's lives can change like this.
Right.
And I'm like still there.
Well, and sometimes it takes that long to find the house you want.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
For sure.
I definitely have some very particular buyers because it's their last home. I feel like this is going to be, you know, we're empty nesters now. We're moving. We want like more space, but less rooms. We want one story. We want, very specific thinking about this is my last home I'm ever going to buy. Those will always take longer than someone buying their first home.
Right.
But
And I love the first time home buyers because they kind of want to think it's their forever home, and I'm like, no, this is your stepping stone home.
Yeah,
this is your stepping stone home. 2 to 5 years, you let it gain some equity.
I don't know anyone who's ever just been in one home for years and years.
Well, especially not their first home.
Right.
No, it's like starter home. Get the base, get the equity, and then when you're ready and you've outgrown it, or you're ready to move up, or you meet someone, or you have a kid,
especially if they're single, I'm like, you're not going to live in this forever.
Right. Yeah.
100%.
So I'm just like, hey, you know, stepping stone. Then whenever you move, you can use a home equity loan for the next down payment, or rent it out, or just sell it. Like, there's so many options for you to build your wealth.
Generational wealth.
I was like, that's what they mean by generational wealth, because now you will be able to, you can hand this down to your kid if you want, or it's going to help you move up the ladder of homes throughout time, you know? Like, it just, people that say they want to keep renting, I never try and push it. I don't ever push it.
Right.
I really don't. Like, if people are like, I'm a renter for life, you know, I'll just be like, all right, you're missing out.
Yeah.
I kind of just make, you know, a little fun comment or something.
Yeah.
But if they want to, okay.
Yeah.
That's their thing. But what I have seen from people who the hardest home is the first home is the hardest.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like your first 100K.
Yeah.
It's the hardest, you know? Your first 10K, your first 100K, your first house.
Yeah.
It's the hardest.
Always.
Then from there, it's like a piece of cake.
Yeah.
You know? It's easier to wrap your mind around. It's not as scary.
Yeah.
I've already done it. You can use money from that house to buy this house.
Yeah.
You're not having to come up with a whole 10 or 20 grand, you know, a second time. It's just totally different.
So different, your second house.
And you can really build up wealth from it. I mean,
100%.
if you don't have to sell the house and you can rent it out, then you have cash flowing income.
Yeah.
I mean, from, you know, so I try not to push it too hard. If people are like, I'm a forever renter, I don't want to have to deal with anything. You know, I just say, okay, well, it's whatever suits you. That's fine.
My son is that. My oldest son is just he's like, what if I want to move? I'm like, then you rent it out. He's like, what if I want to go to Japan? And I'm like, okay, well, then we rent it out. And he's like, I don't know, Mom.
Well, you're still got to pay rent, even if you're leasing.
Yeah.
If you leave to Japan, you still got to rent it out.
I know.
Or find a sublet or something.
Yeah. It's funny. He's also such a hippie kid. Love my hippie kid. And he is like, I don't think anyone should own a home. And I'm like, well, your mommy's a realtor, and that's how we buy food. So, so let's hope they do. We were at a holiday meal, and he was like talking about that, you know, and I was like talking to one of his friends, and I'm like, you should invest and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, you know what I think? I don't think anyone should be able to own anything. And I'm just like, what? It's just like, how are you my kid? But no, he has like good thought process. Like he's like, well, no, because people buy it and then they charge so much for rent, and then and people should only be able to own one home, because if they buy more, then they're. And I'm like, not everyone's a slumlord.
I know.
And not everyone can afford to buy a home.
Well, you know, and also it's a retirement plan.
He's not. I feel like
he's too young still.
He's too young to understand. Am I going to work till I'm 150?
For real?
Yeah, it's really funny, and
I'm trying to get as many doors as I can, so that I can pay all my bills.
Yeah,
just that.
Yeah, he is hilarious, and people.
And if anything happens, like a bad market, I'm not worried about.
Yeah,
you know, I don't know.
It's really funny people are like, that doesn't sound like he was raised by you. And I'm like, no, he was. We're actually more similar than not, which just makes it even more wild.
Yeah,
because,
that is wild.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? My sister, she's 18. She's so amazing. She is so freaking smart. And so from a young age, I've taught her credit cards, how to build it up, like
nice,
like all that stuff, right? I never knew any of that. I was told never get a credit card ever. Yeah. You know, and then it got to where like
24 with no credit. They're like, you have 0 credit. Who are you?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And so I've taught her all of this stuff, and she is such a go-getter and like so freaking smart. And I was like, hey, if you want to buy a house, you let me know. You save up money and I'll match whatever you save.
I love that.
And then, but she's all about it. Like, she's all about making money, investing.
I love it.
And she's only 18.
Yeah.
You know, and she hasn't done, we haven't done anything yet, but it's like, it's brewing. And like, she watches me do real estate and do business, and she like loves it. And
do you think she would ever do real estate?
Oh, she went through a phase where she watched, what is it, Sunset?
Oh, nice.
Freaking loved it. Yeah. And like, I'm not a big reality TV person. Yeah. So I couldn't get on board, but I watched a bunch of episodes with her visiting.
Yeah. Did you tell her that that's not how real estate is? Just kidding.
Well, what was
maybe
funny,
somewhere. I don't know.
Well, I guess they talk about some things in the deal. Yeah. Because at one point she said that she was in her economics class and they were talking about real estate, and she was like, she schooled everybody about the market. She was like, actually, you want to buy a house so it appreciates. And I was like, okay. I was like, man, I wish I was this person when I was your age. It took me a lot longer to get there, but I had a great journey to this spot, so no regrets. But that's she is funny. On it, dude, and I love that. Yeah.
My youngest wants to, he's like, I want to invest in buy land. Like, he'll send me TikToks of like, it's probably scams, but it's like, buy 100 acres for $20. I'm just kidding. Like, it's just these, right? And I'm like, where is that? Like, is that on the corner of a mountain that you can't get to? Like, what property is that cheap, you know? But he's like, I want to buy property like randomly all over and just like hold on to it. And
I mean, that's smart.
I'm like, that's a great idea. But I'm like, you have to be careful though, kind of, you know, because he's like, Mom, you have to buy this property right now. It's $10,000. It's 45 acres. And then I'll like, okay, let's check it out, right? Like, I'll Google, look a little bit, and it's like something you can't even access without like a helicopter. you know, because
Right?
it's like in a protected area and it's like right in the middle.
Yeah,
like,
it's got like the driveway. Like whenever I'm looking up land and I see the boundary, it's like a box and then just like a pencil for the road.
Yeah.
You're going through someone else's property just for the road.
It's like 75 easements.
Yeah, like negative. No, not happening.
Yeah, he's pretty funny about that, but he definitely.
I mean, that's smart though. But that's the important thing, that
something.
he's thinking,
and he's 16
about the future.
Yeah,
yeah, he's listening.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he got the mom realtor.
Yeah,
scoop.
Yeah, I used to take him because even though he was small, I'm short, right? I'm 5'2", and he was probably 5'2" at like 10 years old. Like my kids are all almost 6 foot tall or 6 foot and taller. I don't know, they're all tall. Everyone's tall to me, but and so I would take him to all my open houses, and he would just sit there with me and like eat all the cookies I brought and, you know, drop crumbs everywhere. I'm like, you're dropping crumbs, but he learned so much about real estate just
listening
and he's already like, I definitely want a 2-story home. He just knows. And he does love to go look at homes. Like if I ever take him and I'm like, okay, you can't go in here because they're new clients. They might be weird if you come in. Half my clients don't care. I'm like, I'm bringing my son in. He likes to look at houses. But sometimes if it's a new person, he just like waits outside. And then after they leave, he's like, can I go in now? And he'll like go in. He likes to look at houses and
I love that.
Pick out tile and, you know, he's like already planning.
Yes.
Which is just not the normal 16-year-old, I feel like.
No.
Like your sister, not the normal 18-year-old.
No. Yeah, she's going to school to be a nurse. And I told her, you know, I said, hey, because I've seen this with so many nurses. And I'm not knocking nurses because we need them a lot.
Yes.
But they get to a certain age and they get to a certain income.
Yeah,
and they can't get above it.
Yeah.
It's capped.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, you've been working your whole life during this thing. And
that's
then
as high as it gets.
It's as high as you get. And it's so stressful and it's taxing.
Yeah.
So, I always just kind of say, like, hey, go do your nursing thing. And, like, when you're ready, like, I'm still going to be doing real estate. So, just come on board.
Right.
Whenever you want. I was like, or just do a side hustle.
Do it part-time.
Like, just get it a little
all
side
the
hustle.
nurses that need homes.
You know?
Doctors, nurses.
Right. I was like, you would have, like, such an in.
Talk to the HR department.
You know?
You know, all the people moving in.
Yeah.
Be part of the recruiting team. I'll help you find your home. Tori, I worked with Dell Children's recruiting team for a little bit.
Oh, awesome.
And when they would come fly from everywhere, they would come in and they would do like 2 days of interviews, and then they would spend like a half a day with me where I would take them to a great restaurant and we'd go look at properties like here, and here, close and then further away, and I'd let them get a feel. And I would always have like a fun welcome to Texas, Austin, Texas basket. And so I'd find out what they like, and then I would fill that basket full of, like, if they liked wine, it would be like a bunch of Fredericksburg stuff, and, you know, just, or if they like the music scene, I would have some fun stuff like that. Anyway, she would make a killing.
Oh, dude.
Just doing it part-time.
Yeah, I know. So
I'm
not pushing it.
Like, even if she referred that and just did referral business, hold her license, but do referral business.
Yeah.
She wouldn't even have to work.
Right.
Just make that.
She'd be getting money.
25%.
Getting that money, honey.
Yeah. Fun.
Yeah. So I think that she will at one point venture out with me, or at least invest with me.
That would be really fun.
Because she's a businesswoman.
Yeah.
Before she got into nursing, you know, they have like a whole career thing at high school now, unlike when we were kids.
We did the Army thing.
They were like, yeah,
we took the Army test, the MAPS test, or whatever it is.
Oh, yeah.
But other than that, and they're like, you could be a mechanic. I'm like, hell yeah, I could. Give me a wrench.
I know.
I'm like, could I be anything else?
Dude.
Like, no.
Right?
It's okay.
I wanted to be a car painter. You know how, like, Fast and Furious have, like, all the badass...
Yeah.
You know?
I love this story. So I learned something new every time. And now all I'm picturing is you painting cars.
Well, so I took auto in mechanics in
So does my youngest.
college.
Oh,
I mean,
well,
in high school.
Did you take it for all 3 years? Like, did
I
you?
think it was 2 years.
Okay, I love this.
Yeah,
Okay,
I loved
tell
it.
me more.
I just wanted to be around cars.
Yeah.
And I wanted to like know how to change my oil and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I did. And then they have these career programs, right? Come in and they talk to you, and they had car painters come in, and it was like, it wasn't just, you know, like you paint a car white or whatever.
It was like pool painting.
Yeah, it was like all the fades and like all like, you know, the big car show.
Yeah.
What the fuck ever. Dude, I thought it was so cool. I was like, I'm gonna be a paint technician. And my mom was like, what? She's like,
I love that.
no. And I'm like, why? It's so cool. And she's like, you're gonna be breathing in all that. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not thinking that far ahead.
Yeah.
I was like, I think that's cool.
That is pretty fun.
But I didn't, obviously.
Yeah.
I went to school for photography.
Which you are amazing at.
Yeah.
And I always say you should still do.
Yeah. I do. Still do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yes.
I just picked up my film camera. I have a Yoshika mat, which is it's really cool. It's a camera you look down in.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And everything's backwards, so it's like you turn this way. It's like feels like it's turning this way. It's kind of like, whoa, which way am I going?
Yeah.
It's reverse. It's like
that.
the mirror. Yeah, the lens isn't in it is reverse. And so, but I took it to San Diego and I got some portraits, and it was fun. I haven't used my film camera in so long, and it
So do you
felt
develop
so
that
good.
Yourself? Like, do you have a green room?
Black room, dark room.
Dark room?
Yeah. No, I don't.
What's a green room? Why am I thinking that's
Green room is
like here? Is this a
Yeah.
green room?
the green room is like the room before the comedians go on stage or the singers go on stage.
So changing room, my bad.
It's like where everyone
room.
hangs out. The dark room. I do not have a dark room. I had a dark room in high school, which was super fun. And yeah, I would love to have a dark room one day.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is a color film, so you got to send that off.
Okay.
But it was fun. It made me feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Just a little. I just hadn't done it in so long. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I bought a roll of film and I took it and just took a few photos of the beach. And yeah, it was good.
I love that.
It was fun. Yeah. I still need to what I really want to do is send my work to interior designers for my photography to have in their clients' homes.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, my biggest piece I sold was to an interior designer, Kristen Nix. She put it in a home of one of her clients in the Yellowstone Club, which is in Wyoming. And it was a 4x6 print of Yosemite.
Nice.
And I sold it for $5,000.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my biggest, I feel like that was my biggest,
I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It felt amazing. I got to work with my sister on that, which was awesome. And, yeah, so I had just been thinking about it, and I really want to get my work out there more.
Yeah.
Because I have so much fine art. I have so much work.
Yeah.
That no one has seen ever.
Do you... It's crazy. I know it's not what you photograph, but do you do your photography for your listings?
I only do my leases.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Honestly, because whenever you do real estate photography, there's actual programs.
Oh.
You know, it's not just going in and taking a photo of the room. You got to get the exposure of the inside and the outside, how they have the blue skies.
Yeah.
And everything. That's not realistic.
Right.
Normally that would be blown out. The window would be blown out if the interior is in exposure.
Okay.
And so
it's a whole pain in the ass.
Yeah, and you gotta bracket it, and it's 3 to 5 brackets, so 3 to 5 photos for one photo, and then you put it in the program, and then you say these 5 and then combine, and then they have another program that does the light, like the outside, and I'm just
no.
I
Sounds like a nightmare.
No, unless I'm editing a landscape or a beautiful, you know, like a couple. I just did my best friend's engagement photos.
Fun. That's fun.
Like, it was so fun. They're like my best friends. I've known them forever. Like, I love that. I'm like editing them, and I'm like, you know, like
I love
they're
that.
so happy. Yeah. So I just very much dislike real estate photography.
It sounds
don't want to do it.
Like cookie cutter. Like it's not. I feel like it's not
creative.
Yeah.
No, it's not creative.
at all.
It's very mechanical, and I'm not mechanical.
Yeah.
At all. That is like the furthest from my being.
Yeah.
To be mechanical, but yeah. So I do my leases because I can do it, and for leases it's fine.
Yeah.
If it's a listing, I just hire someone so that it looks amazing.
Yeah.
And then I do my own reels.
I do mine with my camera, my phone. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Man, some of these leases, some of these houses that I see on the MLS, I'm like, are you kidding me?
I'm like, the client took that photo and said, just use these. It has to be, because no agent would.
No, they would. No, they would.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Hey, if out there, do not.
I'm like, where do we look? Do not.
Do not.
Use your phone. So.
Don't use a realtor who uses their phone.
Right.
You better make sure that they are paying for photography.
Yeah.
And videography. And if they're not, you need to call one of us too.
Yes. Because it is a disservice.
It is. And you can tell. I mean, even when I'm looking for my clients on the MLS for, you know, a house or a lease or anything, if they have shitty photos, it's so
like
hard for me to look at.
It's like smell-o-vision. If the photos are shit, it probably smells like
shit.
Like yeah. Just kidding.
Seriously. I mean, you have to really consider those things.
Yeah.
Like big time.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if I'm passing it up and I know... have you gotten really good? I've gotten really good at... Because pictures do a great service.
Yeah, until you get there and your client's like, why is this a 4x4 room and it looked like it was 30 by 30 in the photos? My photographer doesn't do that. He's pretty accurate. Yeah. And I'm like, how about we beef this up? And he's like, I don't know what you mean. And I'm like, I don't know. Some people, there's someone out there that's doing it. I just haven't
the wide
found
angle.
them.
The wide angle can be a disservice sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't get the photo thing. It's so simple.
But you can tell, I can tell, right? Whenever I'm like,
so
no, that's too big. That's not real.
Well, and also, because if you have a great photographer, you can make a shit room look amazing.
Yeah.
But I zoom in to the floorboards and to the cabinets. I'll zoom in to like sink faucets. Yeah. Like I know
you're looking for the crust.
The crust. Because from
like
the
smell-o-vision.
Yeah. From the screen, it looks great.
Yeah.
Man, I helped my friend get a lease. He's going through a divorce, and so we needed to get him in a lease, like stat. Mm-hmm. So like we're like on a mission to find a place that was close to his daughter and close to his work. And the first 2 houses we went to, I mean, I was flabbergasted.
Yeah.
It was disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. They had not cleaned it at all. There is dirty paper towels and dirty plates. And there was a bathtub. Is that ran
by a management company? Or is it like owner managed?
That one was a management company.
Which is wild.
No, they're the worst. I'd rather have a landlord than a management company, honestly, for my own self.
Yeah.
But to each his own.
Yeah. There's probably some good ones. Amanda Garcia. She's great.
Oh, yeah. No, she's awesome. She is. But she's not a huge manager. It's the big corporate
big ones
that suck.
Yeah.
so bad. But there was water in the bathtub with blinds in the tub and just like a tub of bleach on the side of the tub.
Ew.
Like rotting floorboard. I'm like, what is this? And how is it even allowed on the MLS? How are they even able to allow people to walk into this thing?
Is that part, like stuff like that, is that part of what's being looked at for, that we talk about in LMT sometimes, about the habitual offenders in leasing and stuff like that? Is that what they're referring to? What are they referring to? Like what issues?
Yeah, for not taking care of the tenant and having the tenant in unhealthy conditions.
Right. So that is like, is it our job to say something?
Well, I
like,
did.
Not like a narc, but just like to maybe the property manager. Like, I'm not sure if y'all are aware.
100%.
I feel like I'm going to catch something in here.
Yeah. So after I showed that house, I took photos of the whole thing. And then I sent them all to the property manager. And I said, this is absolutely unacceptable to have on the MLS, because not only are you wasting my time, you're wasting my client's time. You're wasting your landlord's time.
Yeah.
And it's disgusting.
And the landlord doesn't know that their
Well, it makes
property,
me look bad.
Right.
Because the photos didn't show that.
It's like the very first photos from 6 years ago when it first started being leased.
Yes.
Why do they do that? It's because they own
in.
it, right? They own the photos, and then they just keep using them over and over and over again. That's wild. Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So that's interesting because the photos are not always accurate 100%. And it's only 4 minutes. And it's hard because clients, have you had the lease tenants that are looking at the property as if they're gonna buy it? Have you had any of those that are like, I don't know if I like these types of blinds? And I'm like, well, good thing you're not buying them. What's happening? And they're like, do you think they'll switch out these blinds? And I'm like,
no,
not a chance in hell. No,
because it's expensive.
Yeah. And I'm like, you're lucky you got blinds and not foil. I don't understand. I go, like, they want to negotiate repairs, but it's like blinds. I'm like, you're a lease tenant. No, you don't get to say, I would love to lease this for $50 less, and I want all new blinds. I had a client say that, and I was like, if they call me ever again, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get to that call, but I will try. I always answer, but I'm thinking it in my head. I'm like, and I'll change their name in there, right? Because we deal with so many people. I want to remember what crazy's calling me, and so sometimes it'll be like prospect 1, Jake something, crazy person about blinds. Like, and so it'll pop up on my phone. Do you remember when we were in DC? And it was a realtor that I'd worked with, not going to say their name, but they had we had talked and we were all joking around. We were having a great time. And I was like, yeah, give me your number. And I can say that no one knows because I got lots of numbers that week. And, and whenever they called me, they're like, I'll call you. And they called me and I was sitting right by them. And I had my phone.
Oh, yeah.
And on my phone, it said something wild because they were wild. They were someone that I interacted with that was wild. And so I was like, yep, got it. Oh, got it. Right. Like, and they were like, did you get it? Are you sure? And I was like, holy shit. And I just want to let you know, I haven't changed it. There's still that in my phone. And I just have to, but I do know when I'm around them, I will not let them see my phone if they happen to be texting me, but it's still in there because it was a fact.
I do remember, and that shit was funny.
No, it was hilarious.
I can't believe it's not. Well, I was gonna say it's a small world, but I mean it is a small world, especially in real estate world, with the people that we work with.
But to have them be so fun, just like me and you here talking,
right,
and then so batshit as an agent,
right,
that I was just like, where I had to tag them in my phone as crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And then we didn't even know it was the same person until you're like, oh, let me get your number.
Yeah.
And then she texts you and you're like,
oh, yeah, it was so bad. But I do. And so I think about that sometimes, though, whenever like my client goes under contract, because it's not always crazy stuff. It's just like buyer and like I label it so I remember, oh, this person's wants to buy here or this da, da, da. But whenever I share contacts or like get them in contact with a lender or when you share the contact, it goes to that person the way you have them saved. So like if I say heart my husband and I share that with someone, then you say add to my contacts, it's going to say heart my husband.
Right.
So I'm very aware of that. And I don't just share contacts because in line 3 it may say something crazy so that I can identify them.
Yeah.
But that's how I remember people.
That is so funny. I'll never forget that.
Yeah. That was fun.
I'm stoked for next DC
I'm so
trip.
excited for it. We're going to have so much fun.
Yeah.
And I hope that I get to go, like, I hope we get to go and speak with everyone again. I'm really hoping that we get to do that this year.
We will.
Because a lot of people did not get to. I just hope we really do.
I do too.
Like, you're going to be trustee and I'm chair. Kind of big deal. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
What kind of a big deal?
Kind of a big deal. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Awesome.
So, I think we're
counting down.
We are. It's sad.
Yep. We're past our limit. Damn it.
Every time.
I know.
But
this is fun though. I
love this.
I love it.
And if anyone
I hope people like get things out of it.
And if anyone ever wants to like give us ideas of something they'd rather us talk about, if what we're talking about they hate, right? Like we hate everything you're saying in your voice, talking in a different tone, want me high pitch, low, whatever, just give us some feedback.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And if you have anything, like, I want to know what people hate about realtors. Like, what do you not like about realtors?
Yeah.
I want to know that. Let us know. Maybe we can talk about it, or like maybe why we do things that you don't like, or things that you do like, or
like funny stories about any of that. We would love to hear about some people's like worst stories. I wonder how we could get that.
Ooh.
Like we should do phone calls. Take live calls.
Oh.
Just kidding.
That would be fun.
That would be fun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And any questions about real estate? Because I feel like between the two of us,
we should do like a live question call.
Yeah.
Sesh.
Because between the two of us, I feel like we can answer all the questions. Oh, and if anyone ever watched our first episode, District 6 has a new person that won, right?
Was it? I mean, I don't know. I didn't keep
again back to
not Mackenzie. She didn't win. No shit.
I don't think so.
Oh wow,
that's so funny. We're still really determining where that district is. No, I'm just kidding. We do know. We did a map. I'll put it up next time because I do know. But I think that was someone that was new this year. I think.
Wow.
That will be new.
Okay.
Well, shit. Now I'm 90% sure.
Okay. Yeah, we'll catch up.
Fact check it.
I mean, you can fact check it right now if you want.
Yeah. Who won?
Figgity
District 6, Austin.
I want to remember what.
Lane appears to edge out Kelly in the race.
Oh wow!
So yes.
Okay.
Yes. So she's gonna be Krista Lane. She's gonna be the new lady that I get to make friends with.
Yeah,
and
nice.
Really, get in there, see what's going on.
Right. Heck yeah. I
know. I'm kind of excited about it.
That is exciting.
Kelly was great. I'm excited just to switch it up for me.
Yeah.
Someone else. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Mackenzie did a good job.
Yeah.
I think she did a great
job. Definitely tried to listen to what her constituents wanted. And that made things tricky for her because it was a very specific demographic of who like just didn't want change.
Right. Well, it was interesting because she was pro housing but not.
Yeah.
She didn't agree with any of the things that we were
which was
fighting for.
Which was why it was frustrating for me, because she was very interactive. We could sit down and talk with her, and she would listen, and I'm like, yeah. And she wanted info, and we'd send it, and I was excited.
Right.
And then she'd be like, no. She'd vote against everything every single time.
I know.
And so
it was, it always surprised me.
It made me feel bad, because I felt like I wasn't doing like...
No.
What I was supposed to be trying to do.
Right.
And we even would tell her that when she would go and speak in front of her people, we would love to come and explain it, so she wasn't the bad guy, you know, because they didn't want to hear it. Right. And I'm like, let someone other than you explain it. Like, let them throw banana peels at me. I love it. Right. But yeah, so now I have someone else to rally with on ideas and feedback, and
nice.
Hopefully. And she seemed to be kind of
pretty
open.
Pro-housing.
Yeah, pro-housing.
Awesome. We love that.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Yay.
Cool.
All right.
Well, let's update on how that goes, how your first ambassador meeting goes.
Yes.
With her.
Yes.
On our next meeting.
Fun.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome. Cheers. Do you have any... I always...
You always will.
What does that say about me? Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Until next time.
Nope. I tapped it.